pretty little section of woods. All hardwoods that are turning. This area is called Popple River in the north woods of Wisconsin. Just look at these beautiful golden and red trees. Absolutely gorgeous. The popples and the birches and the pines. Here we are at Kentuck Lake in the Chequamegon Nicolet National Forest. Crunching through the leaves. We managed to score an electric site on a weekend in the fall with all the leaf peepers out. Site number 13. The cost is $15 a night with the senior access pass. It's only $7.50 a night. We got a beautiful site, even with an opening to the sky to the north for our Starlink. Set up down here. We kind of had it facing to the north. Now we're trying it straight up for a little bit, because there are a few trees, but it's working. So even way up here where we get no cell signal on our phones, we have Starlink, and we can do Wi-Fi calling, which we called my brother this morning. He might stop by and visit us. But right now, Nickelodeon here wants to go for a walk. Ooh, did I say that word? He says, well, let's go. Absolutely beautiful. The colors are probably peak this weekend. We're close to the border of the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. We're really just 10 or 15 miles away. This is located just off Highway 70 between Tipler and Eagle River, Wisconsin, in Forest County. What a beautiful morning. Got a little cold last night, 28 degrees. But we have holding tank heaters. And we had an extra auxiliary electric heater to help boost the propane furnace. I just can't describe the smell of fall in the woods. It smells like leaves, moss, the damp, rich smell of the woods. Absolutely beautiful. There's 31 sites in this campground. 1 through 14 are electric. 5 of those are reservable. The rest are first come, first serve. So if you want to get a site, you got to come during the week and lay claim to it and stay on it. You can stay up to 14 days. They do have pressurized water here, not just a hand well pump, which is kind of nice. Sites 15 through 31 are rustic. They're in the other loop here, straight ahead. But we're really enjoying the warmth this morning. It feels good to be in the sunshine. Some little fuzzy things down here. Very nice. What a morning. Some cattails here, just the very end of them fluffing out. Kind of a little swampy area here at the intersection of the 2 loops of Campground. Let's go up this way and go through the woods. Although the sunshine feels good, it's kind of pretty to walk along a sun-dappled lane. Also unusual for a National Forest campground, this one's entirely paved. Usually they're gravel. Being this close to Eagle River, I think this is a higher use park than some of the other ones. Absolutely gorgeous this morning. Don't you agree, dear?
Yes, it is. Very nice.
The sad part is all too soon, all these leaves will be down and the snow will start. Brrr.
Very thick wood.
Yeah. So we got to enjoy it while we can today. Hold this in our memories or watch back on our YouTube and say, oh, remember when we went through a walk through Kentuck Campground? And that's what we're doing. Pretty quiet up here in this loop. Nobody's camping here so far. Maybe if we get down near the lake. We've been going uphill all this while. Here's an example of the rustic sites here. This one's number 30. We do notice that they put out brand new picnic tables, but they still left the old ones on the sites for availability, I guess, extra tables. Up in the rustic loop, there is an old well, but they took the handle off. But down in the electric loop, there is an electric pump house with a faucet with pressurized water. Here's some of the notices on the bulletin board. Okay, now we're at the highest peak in the campground. We're at site 23. Kind of notice they're spaced nicely apart, quite a bit of distance. These happen to be right across from the pit toilets. There are no flush toilets or showers here, nor is there a dump station. So plan accordingly. You can get here and fill up with fresh water, but you need to go somewhere else to dump your tanks when you're done. Now we're going downhill. I know it doesn't show up much on the camera, but it was quite a incline up, and now we get to go down.
There's no sights going this way at all.
Till we get closer to the lake, maybe.
Yeah.
It is so peaceful this morning.
It's like the kids made a little cabin down there.
Look at the color. And they made a little fort. That's good. Good, clean fun. Building memories. Can you imagine those kids 30 years from now saying, remember when we went to Kentuck Lake and we built a fort in the woods? Doesn't matter, it's just 100 feet off the road. They kind of built it around the roots of a fallen tree that they stacked up more wood against it. Kind of cute. Well, this comes down to the parking lot by the boat landing. Then we go up the other loop for more campsites. hope that you're enjoying this walk with us in the woods as much as we're enjoying it this morning. We woke up with fresh perked coffee and baked apple pies. The grandkids helped 2 days ago bake some pies from our own apples off our very own tree that we just planted a couple years ago. It had 17 apples. Enough to bake a pie. The tree was a gift from Steve's dad before he passed away. And he's always given us very specific instructions on how to bake apple pies. We've passed that on now to his great-grandchildren. Here we are down by the boat landing. Here's some information about the lake and the passes and responsible recreation. Costs you $5 to launch your boat and park here. Seems to be very well kept and maintained. The boat ramp's cut away. Here's an example of one of the Lakeside sites. If they have a red band on the numbered post, then it's the more expensive site. It's $18 instead of $15. So with the half price pass, that makes it $9 instead of $7.50. It's a little windy coming off the lake. The people that were camping here had up a couple tarps for the wind that was blowing. But here it is, Friday morning, first come, first serve. There's 3 lakeside sites that are open with electric. Over on this side of the road, God, the sun's glare, we do have a shed for purchasing firewood. There's some more pit toilets, and a campground host is available. Ooh, this is a really nice site here. Number 5. I think number 5 is probably the best site. It has a beautiful view and electric. So if you're looking to come here, I'm thinking 5, and I think the next one must be 6. Are probably the nicest sites for a view. Still covered with tall, dark pine trees to be nice and cool on a hot summer day. Here's facing kind of to the north. Got a little bit of blue sky, still some trees in the way for starling. Like I said, they brought new picnic tables to the sites, but these older wooden ones still seem to be in good shape. There's the new ones. So I think they're leaving them at every site, so you have double tables for now. I suppose until they wear out. This is pretty nice if you bring your own boat. You got a spot to bring it right here on shore, either boats or kayaks, and dock them right there. It looks like somebody left their bait bucket down there floating on the edge. Maybe they're out fishing right now. What a beautiful spot. Somebody took the time to build some little steps. Yeah, I think this site is probably the best one on the lake. Stopped and chatted with the host for a little bit. And they're here till the end of November for hunting season. Is how long this campground's open. So here we are on our nice spacious site number 13. That's pretty level. We're only off about an inch from side to side. Used our new levelers that we just had put on. And Nick thinks he's going to go get that chipmunk. Oh, maybe it's a squirrel. Nick, you're not going to catch him. No chance. Well, dear, our walk is done. I think it's time to go in and make some breakfast. Nick wants to go along. I don't care. Let's just go around the campground before the battery dies in the camera. It's a gorgeous fall day in the first week of October. We're here in the electric loop, and the other loop is rustic. 1 through 14 are electric, 15 through 31 are rustic. No hookups. Straighten out my camera a little bit. There we go. Ooh, we're gonna have to hit pedal assist to get up this hill. Well, Nick doesn't like being behind me. Get ahead of me, Steve. He wants to see where I am. Oh, there's a camper up here. Last night we walked through, there weren't any campers. How's that, Nick? Is that better now? You can keep an eye on me? He didn't like me being ahead of him. Yeah, I usually ride behind. And that's all you get to see is doggy in a trailer. Oh, is this nice? All the leaves falling. We're gonna go down a hill. Use some of these hydraulic brakes. Kind of nice on these e-bikes. They have hydraulic instead of just caliper brakes. Well, here we are at the campsite. We took a bike ride earlier today, and now we're going to work on our supper. We got back from our bike ride. I put a pork roast in my Instapot on the slow cooker setting. And that's just getting down to the last hour. So now I'm going to add some potatoes and some carrots. So I thought while I was sitting out here on the table, cutting and peeling, I thought it might be nice to run a little video. Whoop, and I have a runaway potato. It rolled away. So, this is the kind of stuff we like to do. We don't go to restaurants very often. We don't do a lot of fast food. We like cooking a lot of things from scratch when we go camping. And boy, oh boy, it smells really good out here. It's kind of nice having electric at this particular campsite. But even if we're boondocking, I can still use my Instapot because we have the Blue Eddy power station in our little cargo trailer. And the Blue Eddy will let us run electrical items, 110 or 12 volt. And during the day it charges up from the solar, and at night we can plug in the camper or our bikes for recharging, or the laptop, the Starlink, all that kind of stuff too. Here comes Steve. Say hi to the camera.
Hello.
So we are enjoying our Saturday afternoon. He said there might be some thunderstorms rolling in this evening. I was thinking about maybe having a little campfire with our pellet fireplace, Flame Genie. Right now it's so dry and so windy up here in the Northwoods that there are burn bans on, actually, for anybody that wants to burn their trash or whatever, or brush piles or whatever in their yards. They are saying you can still have a camping or cooking fire, but only if you proceed with caution. So with this kind of wind, I don't know. So maybe we'll skip the fire today or this evening. Tomorrow afternoon is the Packer game. And because we have the Starlink, we can watch that. I think it's a 3:25 game. And my brother said maybe he'll take a ride out tomorrow and visit us. He's not too far away in town. I prefer the regular carrots rather than those little milled down baby carrots. I like the flavor of these. Baby carrots are easier, of course. You just open up the bag, rinse them off, and dump them in. But these big bags are cheaper, price per pound, and I think they taste better. Let's see what we got here. Maybe another one. There's enough roast here that we'll have leftovers. So I might as well have leftover carrots and potatoes. It was really kind of nice going for a ride this morning. We were thinking about riding all the way over as far as Spectacle Lake, but part of it would have been the route along on Highway 70, and I'm not too nuts on riding the bikes on the highway. So we had a nice time though. We rode down along by the cottages and around the campground. And anyhow, we were sitting here talking about all the places we went camping so far this year. Starting out in the winter, we were in February and March. We were down in Arkansas, Oklahoma. Then after that, we did a little jaunt over to Minnesota for a week or so. And a couple other little escapes up north, here and there. Then we went and tried to go out west, heading all the way out US 2. Got as far as Montana, but boy, oh boy, those wildfires were just so tough on us. Plus the temperatures went way up. We had 90 degree, 95 degree days out that way. So we turned around and came back. So after we came back, spent a couple days at home, caught up a few things over Labor Day weekend. So we didn't have to deal with the crowds. And then we took off again and went US 2 East this time. Oh, there's my carrot peelings. And this time going US 2 East, those are the videos I'm going to be working on next. We went up by the Sulaks, which is between Lake Superior and Lake Huron. What's that all about? Nicolet. We're trying to teach him to be a good campground doggy here. And correct him when he barks. Now when I do potatoes, I like the regular russet potatoes or Idaho potatoes. Actually, I like the potatoes from Canada, the white potatoes they're called. But I like these type of potatoes, where Steve, on the other hand, likes the red potatoes, especially the baby reds, with the peelings on, which I don't really care for. But we'll do some for him, and some for me. That's the secret to happy marriage, right, Steve?
Yep.
And of course, all these will get rinsed off before we pop them in. Oh yeah, I gotta go get that runaway potato that fell on the other side of the picnic table here. It rolled away on me. So it's kind of a halfway cloudy, halfway sunny day. It comes and goes right now. Very windy. They have some high wind warnings because the fire danger is so high because it's so dry around here. I hope everybody's careful and cautious. So I figured most of my videos are camping videos. I haven't done much in the way of cooking videos. Actually, I hate cooking shows on TV. I hate following recipes. I learned to cook at my mom's side, cooking things from scratch. Between her and my grandma, even my dad did a lot of cooking. And a lot of things I just figured out myself. Trial and error. But Steve and I both really appreciate home-cooked foods, home-cooked soups especially. We've done a couple soups and chilies while we're camping, pots of chili. Well, I guess I gotta go retrieve my missing potato. Rolled over here by the bikes somewhere. Oh, here it is. Got it. So, Steve's over here, kicked back in a lawn chair, hiding out of the view of the camera, Steve? Yep. Nick's down here on the ground. Kind of watching, see if anything good falls down. Smells awfully good, he said, from the pressure cooker. Better put that bag in here. Well, I think we'll have a pretty good pot full here to add to the roast. And then I put it on pressure cook for about the last 15 minutes. It softens them up pretty good. I have slices of onion in there and some garlic, chopped up garlic. I use a base of French onion soup mix. I had some ANDRIAS steak seasoning. It's a brush on steak sauce. And a little bit of spices here and there. So, now it's time to go wash off these potatoes. And I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back out again. Rinsed off all the potatoes and the carrots. I thought I'd bring this out. This is the ANDRIAS steak sauce. It's called a brush on steak sauce. And it's from ANDRIAS Steakhouse in O'Fallon, Missouri. O'Fallon, Illinois. And the website is www.andrias.com. You can order it by the case. And it's a steak sauce that you put on or use as a marinade while you're cooking. And it's got a lot of good stuff in it. Water, onions, garlic, wheat, soybeans, salt, caramel, carrots, celery, parsnips, turnips, parsley, spices, potassium sorbate, sodium benzoate. I don't know what all that stuff is, but anyhow, to preserve freshness, it said. But it's some really good stuff. And you can only get it in the local stores over there in that area of Illinois and into Missouri. But our friends Jim and Dee turned us on to this. They're fellow RVers from many years ago. And that's what we use a lot of times on our meats. So I put it in here on the pork roast. Ooh, look at that. Boy, does that look good. So, we're going to toss in these potatoes. I'm trying to do this one-handed here. Oh, we lost two, but that's okay. I got to go in and get a spoon anyhow. I'll wash those off. Okay, I washed up the last two little bits of potatoes. Got to stir these around in here a little bit, get them down in there. And I decided to add a little more water content. So just about come up to the top of the vegetables. Yeah, I'm sure that meat's pretty tender and juicy and well cooked by now. I've had it on for 3 hours. So, I'm going to match this up. There we go. And I know it flickers on the screen for the camera, but it is at 59 minutes yet. And like I said, for about the last 20 minutes, I'll turn it up into pressure cooker mode so it cooks under pressure and finishes those up. So, go around our little campsite here a bit. We parked the bikes here after our ride, Nicolet, after our ride today, but we're going to put them away tonight safe and sound inside the cargo trailer if it's going to be a thunderstorm. Along with our chairs and our little wigwags, we're going to roll up the awning. Long time ago, our oldest daughter, Erin, gave us this spinner. There's little butterflies on it. It spins on a battery-operated device. And down below, it's got this optical illusion of this weighted tail that the ball is crawling up the coil. It's not really, but it looks that way. So then, a couple years back, our friends Roz and Gary gave us this one with a hummingbird on it. And down below there's a tail. So just recently, a fellow Sheltie lover who owns Paws Perfect Grooming makes these Sheltie ones. Well, she makes other dog breeds too. So I'm going to put a link in the description with her shop. But I ordered an extra battery spinner and an extra tail. And we just put this one up. Now, because we have the awning pulled in at half length, we just stuck it here for now. But otherwise, when the awning's all the way out, I put it on a track out in the middle. There we go. It starts spinning again. The wind kind of hits them. So I bought one for my friend Vicky, and I bought one for ourselves. But like I said, I'll put the link in the description if anybody would like to order one. I think she has quite a variety available. Woo! Look at that wind. What do you think, Nick? Is it going to blow you away? So we have him tied up to his cable, and this is on a boat anchor. It's actually a hunk of cement with an eyelet in it. Somebody left once at a campsite. And we thought that will make a perfect doggy tie-out. Right, Nick? So I don't know where Steve went. He disappeared. He might be over here checking something out on the campsite. Let's see. Sounds like there's a piece of machinery running at one of the cabins down the lake shore. Well, he's not over here. But I thought I'd show you. Here's our Starlink set on our little end table, aimed up at the northern sky. And over here's the power post, which it's unusual for a national forest campground. Many of them around here do not have power. This one has a nice new power post. And we always keep a Progressive Industries EMS system, electrical management system. It's more than a surge protector, and it prevents from brownouts and high voltage and spikes. It checks the polarity. It checks the electrical service coming in from the post and won't even let it flow through to the motorhome until everything checks out right. So the other thing I thought I'd come and aim on is this little sign. Steve got this many, many years ago from his parents. And we had to paint it up again, give it a fresh coat. And we added the names Steve and Karen to it. But this sign has been traveling for many years and has a lot of miles on it. So that's our little camp sign for our campsites. I just love fall camping. The temperature's in the high 60s. There's no bugs because it got so cold that night. It was down to 28 the night before and 33 last night. So we don't have bugs. We do have some wind and maybe some rain coming, but that's okay. We'll curl up and watch TV tonight. What's nice about these campsites is they're spaced so far apart that you don't see anybody around you. I hear a little chippy back there in the woods. Oh, that's who's coming through the woods. Oh my goodness. It's Bigfoot. It's Sasquatch. Nick says you're a burglar.
What do you think, Nick?
We're wondering where you went. Shh. Okay, it's just Steve. Come pet him so he knows you're not a burglar.
Hey, Nick.
Now he's feeling foolish.
Me? Just me. Oh, yeah.
So I think it's time now to sit back and have some quality time in our new lawn chairs. We just picked these up from Camping World and Grand Design. We bought one at one store and one at the other. Our other recliners weren't all that good, the ones that we had. So these are super deluxe. Let me get the leaf off. Super deluxe with nice handles and heavy tubing, and seem to be pretty well made. So we've been enjoying them and relaxing. They're long enough for Steve's tall head and long legs when he sits in his. Then we keep a couple of the sitting chairs too for around the campfire, because we don't want to put these good ones where little sparks and stuff from the fire will land on them. So I think that's about it. I did a little walk around of our campsite, and now we're just going to wait for supper to finish cooking. Kick back and take it easy. Yep. Right, Nick?
Good.
Right, Nick? He says, sit on your chair. I want to sit on your lap. Okay, come on. Let's go. Up. Good boy. See, this is where he belongs. Spoiled puppy. Okay, it says end. So this is the time we release our pressure. There we go.
Wasting my battery.
Wait for the
Now.
There we go. Ooh, look at that, just bubbling away in there. Ha! Fogged up the camera lens. Oh yeah, nice and tender. The potatoes got little cracks in them, and some of the, there we go. Some of the peelings are curled up. That looks so good. Time to carry it in and have dinner. Bon appetit. And here's the roast. Super tender and done. And now we're going to get out some of the carrots. Get out some of the juice. Even some of the slices of onion. Wow. Big slab of roast pork. It's falling apart already. And look at that.